Alright, folks, since I'm delaying the Odyssey review, we're doing a full rant on the rise and fall of Marvel. Timed perfectly with the new Avengers Doomsday trailer. Apparently, Doomsday means the day this movie drops and finishes burying whatever goodwill they had left. Marvel wasn't always this. Phases 1 through 3 built something special. Grounded heroes, escalating stakes, culminating in Infinity War and Endgame. A cultural phenomena that grossed billions. Steve got his dance. Tony got the snap. It felt earned. Peak superhero cinema. Then the fall. See, after Endgame, it felt like Marvel forgot why people showed up in the first place. Instead of building towards something bigger, every movie started feeling like it was improvising the next one. Then there's Disney's corporate morality. James Gunn makes offensive jokes years before he even worked for Marvel. Fired immediately. Public statements, moral grandstanding. Then Guardians 3 suddenly becomes important to the bottom line. And welcome back, James! Funny how corporate ethics develop a flexible spine whenever $1 billion is involved. Joss Whedon became another example. The guy Hollywood spent years celebrating as one of the industry's enlightened voices ended up facing multiple accusations of abusive behavior behind the scenes. Turns out the image wasn't the person. Disney's biggest talent wasn't heroism. It's deciding which scandals matter this quarter. And instead of writing stories with real consequences, Marvel found the easiest escape hatch ever invented. The multiverse. Hero dies? Earth 35. Plot hole? Earth 1564. Bad writing? Believe it or not, Earth 662. Oh my gosh. Nothing matters, because somewhere on Earth whatever 55, there's another version waiting in the wings. DC spent decades piling up alternate universes before finally saying, yeah, maybe this got a little ridiculous, with Crypto the super dog, Pitbull the super monkey, before finally nuking all those suckers in Crisis of the Infinite Earths after 60 years. Marvel speed ran the same problem in under 10. The crazy part? They never needed any of it. Marvel has over 60 years of incredible comics. Infinity Gauntlet, Civil War, House of M, Kraven's Last Hunt, epic X-Men sagas, Doom's best villain arcs, Fantastic Four stories, Spider-Man, Daredevil. The shelves were already full of gold. Instead, they kept opening the emergency nostalgia cabinet. Here's something that's been bugging me since Civil War. These are superheroes. They've spent decades fighting some of the greatest villains ever created. Dr. Doom, Galactus, Annihilus. Marvel has enough legendary villains to keep the Avengers busy until the sun burns out. Kang even, before Marvel made him boring. Yet somehow every major event now boils down to heroes punching each other in the face again. How many Civil Wars can one universe have before you start wondering if the villains are taking extended vacations? Marvel has one of the richest rogues galleries in comics. But somehow every crossover ends with the Avengers fighting the Avengers, the X-Men fighting themselves, or everybody arguing until the third act. Guys, you already have villains. Use them. So now we get the Doomsday trailer. And honestly, it feels less like a movie trailer and more like Disney walking through the audience pointing at old photographs. Remember him? Remember her? Remember 2019? Robert Downey Jr. shows up as Dr. Doom, doing an accent that sounds like Count Dracula auditioning for community theater. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are back. Not because the story demanded it, because Disney apparently keeps a phone next to the Nostalgia Vault labeled Break Glass in case of falling box office. Pedro Pascal's here. Yay. Not Namor. Namor's back. Shang-Chi pops in. Gambit appears after Marvel spent years acting like they had no idea what to do with him. The Thing somehow looks smaller than Shuri. Thor's an immortal god who's apparently contractually obligated to lose every third fight. New Captain America, Sam Wilson, gets the awkward cameo treatment after his show and movie didn't really do that great. And here we have Cyclops. Cyclops is definitely dying in the first 2 minutes. And no Deadpool in sight, so we're stuck with all the rejects and RDJ playing whatever accent that is. And here's Steve Rogers. He returns looking suspiciously like a carpenter from Nazareth. He returns after one of the most satisfying endings in superhero history because, well, remember when Marvel was good? See, I forgot half these actors were even in Marvel movies in the last 6 years. That's how long it's been since they made anything good. And that's the entire trailer. Doesn't build anticipation. It builds recognition. Marvel used to ask, what happens next? Now it asks, remember when this was good? Marvel had 60 years of legendary source material. They had 6 years after Endgame to figure out where to go next. Instead, we got multiverse escape hatches, selective corporate morality, endless hero versus hero reruns, and a trailer built almost entirely out of nostalgia. See, Infinity War left us asking how the heroes could possibly survive. Doomsday leaves me wondering which retired actor gets wheeled out next. See, Doomsday isn't coming. It's already here. Marvel, I genuinely love for you to prove me wrong. Because, you see, I don't miss the old Marvel. I miss truly wondering what happens next.